So you travel the most of anyone on the pod.
Yes.
You're on a plane every week, would you say?
Every single week.
So you're on a plane every week. So tell me your experience, because I don't travel like you. How are people deplaning and boarding?
It's very tough. 90% of the time, I'm at the front of the bus.
Okay.
10% of the time, I'm at the back of the bus. Unbelievably painful. One, you're with a lot of people that do not travel often. So there's an enormous amount of anxiety. Where do I go? What do I do? Is this my group? They have like way too much shit. Like the guy's like, oh, you got to check this in. He's like, I can't check it in. My medicine's in here. It's fucking chaos.
And then kids crying,
kids,
screaming.
this, that, strollers. It's just chaos. People sweating. And then there's people who just bring all this fucking food. They just bought it and their food that stinks. It's brutal. I'm going to LA and JFK the most, which if you fly a lot are the two worst airports to get to physically.
Yep.
LA is always slammed. JFK always slammed. So you're already mad. You're fucking angry. You're tired.
And if you have kids, think about that.
Yeah,
your kids screaming in the car.
And by the way, like JFK, you could have clear pre-check. You could be CIA. You're fucking waiting. There's no chance you're not waiting.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
All right, Cathy's, happy Thanksgiving. We got a big, long weekend ahead. And, since it's a holiday episode, it's, like a variety episode today. We're just going to have some fun. We wanted to bring back one of our most polarizing guests. Taylor Offer is here.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
I wouldn't even say polarizing. I think he's the most hated person we've ever had on the podcast.
I got when he sold feet, I actually got a lot of messages of people saying, "Hey, I'd love to hear Taylor's story and what he's been up to." So,
I guess he's a lovable, hated character.
Yeah, I think it's pretty lovable, actually.
I like you.
I've matured a lot.
So Taylor, for those that don't know, like he really helped us a lot during COVID on our podcast. He's a good friend of mine, entrepreneur in LA, now in New York. Started a brand called Feet, and then now has pivoted into something I told him to do 3 years ago.
Yeah, I wish I listened to 3 years ago.
I was talking to someone else, Eric Lee from Superline, who also listens to the pod and crushing it, by the way. He's actually going to come on the pod in a few weeks.
What does Superline do?
Superline is a t-shirt manufacturer. But now he's built like this whole content business that's just exploded on TikTok and Instagram. But Eric and I meet and, every so often, and, we're talking, and I jokingly said, I think I referenced Taylor. I'm like, everything I did 5 years ago, you guys are finally listening and listening to what I had to say. And so Taylor, tell them what you're up to now.
Off price. Obviously. After, I think it was like 3 years ago, you're like, dude, sell your business. The e-com hustle is over. The direct-to-consumer hustle is over. Your little growth hacks are done. Sell it, move on. And for 2 years, I just was miserable running a business in a very challenging environment. And now I switch sides and I'm like, holy shit, why didn't I do this sooner?
Yeah. It's interesting. Like, the last 2 years for brand owners have been so tough. And there's a lot of brands who have had success, don't get me wrong, but the vast majority of brands are struggling. And it is like gut wrenching because we obviously work with a lot of these brands on the Go side. And it's like, these are great brands, great businesses, kind of did nothing wrong, but like the environment is so tough that it just became impossible to sell anything.
Impossible. It almost feels like we were all just kind of hanging out on the ocean. A big tidal wave came and just knocked us all out. Like no matter what you're doing, whatever boat you're on, it got knocked over. Like,
yeah. And I think like now the bodies have been buried and there's a little bit of kind of line of sight into what the future could look like. And the good thing is off price has presented opportunities. Like the consumer, like, I don't know if you guys have been following, but like even in the luxury market, the business has gotten really challenging. It's like one of the worst years ever for luxury spending in the last couple of years. And what you're seeing is that the consumer is like truly affected by price.
So I want to bring back something we talked about a couple weeks ago, because in the context of brands, Viore, how they have this $5.1 billion valuation, General Atlantic, and all these big guys are piling in. But I think it's important to know how they did it, because I actually got feedback, and I actually knew this, I just forgot on the pod. Michael Melman is the majority owner of this company called Viore.
I don't think he's the majority owner.
Yeah, he started it.
I have not heard that.
So
I heard he's an early investor. Joe Kudlow's the
Yeah, I don't
founder.
think he's a majority.
But I think he's a pretty early investor.
I think
early
he owns
investor.
a significant piece of the company.
I don't doubt it, yeah.
And he seeded the brand at the Discovery Properties, which is, he ran the same playbook that he did with Casamigos.
Yeah.
And it became the rich guy athleisure brand. And then when he rolled it out, like, that's a hack.
Distribution, right? To the right audience.
And then all you see, you go to, yoga, and everyone's wearing Viore and any of these high-end luxury class. I heard he's going to make more money on Viore than he is on Casamigos.
Maybe. That's
Maybe
possible.
already did. I mean,
I
$5
think
billion.
he might not.
I heard it's a lot of secondaries that went out.
Yeah, I don't think they're profitable.
But I think it's to your point that if you're just an entrepreneur building a brand, it's really fucking tough.
It's so fucking tough.
And that's a growth hack that most people don't have access to.
Yeah, I mean, look, there are a lot of brands, and Olive and June just sold for $250 million, and that's not even a 10-year-old business. Represent just got valued at, I think, like $150 million, and that's a self-funded business. So there are a lot of success stories out there, but they're fewer than they were 5 years ago. That's all. And I think the exciting piece is that, like, all of this, like, challenges creates actually more opportunity, and you just have to shift and pivot and figure out what the opportunity is. And I would say the short-term opportunity will be price. Like, everyone's looking for value. It's interesting. So Walmart reported like incredible earnings, and they said that they had the biggest growth in their $100,000 a year earner more than any other segment. So even the wealthy are trading down to look for value. And it's why Sam's Club and Costco continue to well. Like, when you shop Sam's Club and Costco, it is so much cheaper than everywhere else that you're just like, fuck it. Why wouldn't I buy it here? Like TVs or electronics or food or anything. It's like you really are like, the retailers are forcing consumers to go shop. And the people that'll pay the highest are like the Amazon customers who will just pay for the convenience, which represents a lot of people, but not everyone.
Yeah. And no one's paying for it. I mean, the direct-to-consumer hot brands, that was different because they cut out the middleman.
Yeah.
Nobody's going for that anymore.
Yeah, you can look at any D2C company that even got out, their stock prices have cratered.
Yeah. And with that being said, there are some insane D2C businesses out there still. They're just not publicly traded right now. You know, like there's still like huge amount of business happening. I mean, Shopify GMV is like record high.
Yeah.
It's not going down. And so they're proving that there's still a customer out there that's doing a lot of business. And I think that, like, you know, Black Friday will be a very interesting metric. So what I've heard from all the bigger retailers, that the first Black Friday started like 2 weeks ago, and it started really strong. So now it just, will actually Friday mean anything, or will it just be another Friday? Like, you have to see a significant bump for Friday to be successful. Like, historically, you would do 5X, 10X your best day. And I talked to a brand yesterday that they said Monday was 2X higher than an average day, which is much higher for this week. So I'm curious to see how it pays out, because the other thing is I think consumer confidence right now, despite all the inflation, like post-election, people are very giddy.
Yeah.
They're
Bitcoin's up.
Yeah.
Spend some money.
I think, yeah, you have stock market near all-time high, crypto's up. Like, people are going to go spend money.
Yeah.
I think just where they spend it will be very selective. Like, I don't think it's going to get spread to everyone. And so I think that'll be the interesting thing about the spend.
I wish we could get a stat, which we won't be able to, is people under 30 spend between today and Black Friday on meme coins versus actually buying and
Meme coins,
You
baby.
can actually see that easy, right? Like you could see the total amount.
I'm saying under 30 because no one over 30 is buying meme coins. I mean, I am, but
So then you could say then everyone buying meme coins is under 30. Then you can just make that assumption and just look at the volume of trading
yeah.
and do it. So I think like, well, I think that if I would say a big detriment to retail that you can never quantify it is online gambling. Do you know how many specifically young men are fucking burning money online gambling?
Because it's legal, I think, FanDuel, DraftKings in about 30 states at this point. That's a lot.
It's a lot of states. And I think that's money that could have gone to restaurants, that could have gone to a trip.
And they're all losing.
Yeah, of course.
And they're betting on everything. I have friends who are like, we need to put on the WNBA game. I was like, you can't even name a player. They're like,
Yeah.
dude, the Sparks are unlocked tonight. I'm so in.
So I think like that's I think that's part of like what will probably have to happen is like you're gonna have to see like a huge shift in spending. And I think online gambling for the young male demographic is, I don't know how much is being gambled, but I would guess it's if you actually extrapolated the dollar amounts of losses, it's a significant impact on restaurants and retail for sure. Because you could lose $200 on a Saturday, every Saturday for the whole year.
Yep.
Easily.
Yeah.
And then you're going to bet Thursday. You're going to bet Tuesday.
And you're also betting on meme coins and other crypto stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to go down too.
Yeah.
Like I saw something in Q3, $750 billion was stolen by hackers for crypto scams.
Yeah, that makes sense. I
That's
mean,
absurd. That's money that would have gone into the economy.
well, the hackers will spend it.
Yeah, but not at the hype econ brands at the mall.
Yeah. They're not spending it on
They're not buying Represent.
maybe. I don't know what the scammer brand of the moment is. My guess it's a luxury brand if I were to guess.
Probably.
From
DHgate.
I think it'll be interesting to see. So it is Thanksgiving, and I love these facts about Thanksgiving because they're so fascinating. So one of the facts, $321, the average person spending over the 5-day Thanksgiving period. $321. I think that average makes sense. I think if you did it by like LA, New York, Dallas, that number's 5x between eating at home and then shopping. And then and like people are going to be out tonight.
These are some good stats. I can't wait
People
for
are
you.
going to be, Thursday, you're going to be home. Friday, you'll go shopping.
Yep.
Saturday, you'll probably go shopping, hit a movie. And then Sunday, you're watching football, gambling all the way on DraftKings. So here's the interesting. So the average meal is somewhere between 3,100 and 4,500 calories consumed on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then an average to burn 4,500 calories, you have to spend 10 hours on the treadmill. 10 hours. That's insane.
Is there a more American holiday?
Yeah. You have to spend, they're expecting $1.2 billion spent on turkeys this year.
Do you think Ozempic curtails some of that?
For sure. I think you'll see some Ozempic effect this year.
Because everyone's on it.
Yeah. $26 million of amount of property loss caused by residential building fires each Thanksgiving.
Why is that? I didn't
Cooking.
get that.
Yeah, deep frying the turkey.
Most people are not. You know how many people are like literally deep frying turkey and your house goes on flames?
Yeah.
That's like a thing.
Yeah.
We'll see it on TikTok
For
Friday.
sure. Yeah.
61% share of people celebrating Thanksgiving tried to avoid having to talk politics at the dinner table. So general rule of thumb, you should definitely ban politics from the dinner table, period. And Thanksgiving right after an election, 100%. You should not be allowed to talk politics.
You told everyone to ask who they voted for in the last episode.
Yeah. That was to throw a bomb. That was just more to throw a bomb. But the right answer is do not talk politics.
The right?
Because it's a joke. It's yeah. You're not going to like the answer on.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. It's just why ruin a family gathering.
Yeah, you should. It shouldn't because like I think too many people like take it so personally, the politics side of things. To me, it's the same thing I view politics like sports. I'm rooting for a team and I hope they win. But if they fucking lose, I'll move on to the winning team.
But you're unique in that. Most people don't do that.
They're
Like you have fans of like the New York Mets that haven't won in decades. They are in misery and hoping every year it's in the year that they're going to win.
Yeah, I mean, they're losers.
And like the Cowboys, right? They haven't won since the late 90s.
Losers.
Here's some other interesting stats. The average number of guests, including household members, 9.
Seems right.
Yeah.
I think our Thanksgiving, we're going to Manaticia's place. I think it's 9.
I think we're at 9 too. So the averages are correct.
Yeah. 56% of Americans say offering a meat-free option for Thanksgiving is important.
56.
Yeah.
That's high.
That's high.
That's
much
people don't
higher.
like turkey because turkey sucks.
Yeah, where do you stand as our only mediator on the pod? Turkey versus ham.
Oh, I mean, neither are good. You never go to a restaurant and say, can I get the turkey or can I get the ham? Like those are not things you order ever.
Well, I think the biggest challenge with Thanksgiving, and I know people like the food, generally speaking, it looks disgusting.
Yeah.
The sides, the main, the whole thing looks disgusting.
Yeah,
I don't think anything about Thanksgiving food is appealing.
There's a fall vibe to it. If you get the cranberry and potato.
I know, but like, it's like, there's so much good food now in the world. And I get it. The pilgrims, the fake story of the pilgrims and the Indians, they're fake eating all this food.
It's a great economic boost of this fake story.
I mean, it's like everything. Halloween, fake. Everything's fake. Valentine's Day, fake. St. Patrick's Day, fake. Cinco de Mayo, fake.
I think it's the beauty of the American economy. We just figure out ways to spend money.
Yeah,
So
you
who puts
gotta
this
give us a
on?
reason.
Big turkey. This is big turkey cartel.
Yeah,
Keep
the
it
big,
Thanksgiving.
big turkey needs to be stopped. Average number of drinks consumed by men on Thanksgiving, 3.1. 2.4 average number of drinks consumed by women. I think the women number, I believe. The men, I don't. In the span of like 8 hours, you're having 5 drinks.
Probably. Well, I think everyone smokes for Thanksgiving. Or maybe
Smokes
that's
weed.
yeah. Everyone I know just gets high and eats.
Because they just want to be hungry and just
Even
eat
if
the
they're
food.
with their parents?
I think it's like, I mean, I'm 31 now, so most of my friends are comfortable being high with their parents, but
Yeah.
maybe not younger.
Okay. 87% of Americans say they celebrate Thanksgiving. What the fuck are the other 13%? Jehovah's Witness?
I don't know, chilling.
That's an odd thing. Why wouldn't you celebrate it?
I think I have a friend who's
Colonizing?
first generation American, and his family doesn't celebrate it.
So what do they do on Thursday?
He comes over for dessert.
So
at
what
my
are they
house.
doing all day?
Just kicking it like a normal Thursday.
Well, if you think
Non-Americans don't
I actually
celebrate.
was talking with someone today that I was talking with Josh because I asked Josh what he's doing. He's like, I'm working.
Yeah.
And there's been multiple years our parents were in India and it was just us two. So that technically,
We still celebrated it.
I mean, we just went to dinner.
Yeah, but I recognized it was an important holiday.
Yeah, so how do you define celebrating it? Do you have to eat a turkey at a table?
No, I think it's like, hey, what are you doing for dinner? We're having Thanksgiving dinner.
That's fair.
I'm not having dinner.
I think we
having
went
Thanksgiving
to
dinner.
Wolfgang Puck once on Canon when it was there.
Yeah.
And one year we did brunch, just me and him at the Four Seasons Doheny. So is that
Great.
celebrating?
Yeah, we celebrated.
No turkey, no celebration. That's what that's what Big Turkey says.
Look at this. 16 million Thanksgiving greeting cards are exchanged each year. Think
nuts.
about the greeting card Thanksgiving business. And you know how much a greeting card is these days? It's $10.
Okay, so that's 160 million.
$160 million just in greeting.
great.
Who is dropping off a fucking card that says Happy Thanksgiving?
Yeah. it's
Grandparents? Must
nuts. Well,
be.
if it's the ones you open it and the turkey opens up,
Yeah.
that could be cool.
First year NFL games were played on Thanksgiving, 1920. Oh, yeah. Then you have the Macy's parade.
That's fun.
They have a lot of fraud over there at Macy's. They can have a parade about that. 30% of Americans will travel this Thanksgiving holiday.
I went to LAX last night. I'm not kidding. When I was probably 6 blocks away. It took 45 minutes to move 1 block. And I was dropping my girlfriend off. She had to get out and walk.
What time is the flight?
This was, we were there at 9. Her flight was at 11. We waited for 30
PM
minutes.
or AM?
PM.
Okay.
We know where the block before the In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did not move for 30 minutes there. So I said, get out and walk. It's your only option. So she walked from In-N-Out
Yeah,
All the way.
that's
Everyone was walking.
my move. I walk from In-N-Out.
It was insane. It was the longest line I've ever seen.
Wow. 13% of Americans will primarily fly for their Thanksgiving destination. The rest are kind of sad numbers about people dying, so I'm not going to read those.
People dying at Thanksgiving dinner?
What?
From Thanksgiving? Or just...
I would guess DUIs.
Ooh,
Sad.
that's not good.
Because the night before is the big party night. Tonight.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm sure
Or
a lot of
driving
people
back from
go
Thanksgiving dinner.
And
get
they're going to
hammered.
multiple places.
Yeah.
and get hammered, and they're dropping off, or they're going to see a cousin, an aunt, an uncle, and then you instead of those 3 drinks, you're 8 drinks in, and you're behind the wheel.
That's not good. Don't do that, guys.
Yeah. And then Black Friday. I think it's going to be I'm going to be interesting to see how Black Friday and Cyber Monday, does Cyber Monday matter anymore? Because it's like shit's been on sale for a month.
For 2 years.
2 years.
Everything's always on sale. Do people still line up for Black Friday? Is that a thing at all?
I bet you. If I'm a big retailer, I think you could. If you said, "Hey, we're gonna have PS5s for 50 off or whatever,"
Yep.
and it's only in store, I feel like people will show up.
But the glory days are gone of the 5 a.m. wake up and line up.
No, it's when we had our store in Culver City Mall, it started at midnight.
Yeah.
But that's just not relevant. If I drive around Friday morning, I'm not going to see any lines.
Maybe at the outlets. I bet you the outlets would be busy just because you want to get first pick at some of these deals.
I would guess Best Buy still has a line because people want electronics. I don't know if retail,
Yeah, I think certain retailers will.
Because that was the fun part. Just going nuts.
Yeah. I'm going to be curious to see if actually anything happens. We'll see. But anyways, that'll be a fun. Thanksgiving's really fun always, and there's so much football, and even Amazon has a game Friday.
Yeah.
Black Friday.
Wow.
How
in the middle of the day too.
Yeah, it's
I
Chiefs
think,
too.
Yeah,
they got the best game. They got Chiefs playing on Black Friday. I'm curious to see if Amazon can basically steal the thunder of Thanksgiving for football and make it Black Friday. Because if you have the better game, then everyone's going to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 12 p.m. Pacific. It's Raiders Chiefs, but Raiders suck.
It's Patty.
Patty and Travis and Taylor will show up.
Taylor may show up Thanksgiving.
I think she is showing up.
So there you go. You're in 30 million viewers.
Yeah, this slate's not great. The last game's good on Thursday.
Yeah. Hopefully, if you're a DraftKinger, you have some money left for that Friday game.
And I mean, the viewership is going to be off the charts. It's the second to last week before fantasy playoffs.
Yes, everyone's watching.
Everyone's watching.
Yeah. Great. All right, let's move on to some big news. The tariffs are here. Everyone was really scared of the tariffs. Even I was. And when I actually saw them, I didn't think they were that big of a deal. So the 3 tariffs that were announced by the Trump team were 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico, and 10% imports on anything from China. And the rationalization of Mexico and Canada was that their borders are causing a lot of issues with not only illegal immigration, but fentanyl and a lot of other drugs into the country. And so I think the knee-jerk reaction from both countries was, oh, we're going to tax you also. But what we start seeing on the data, I think 70% of imports of Mexico go to United States. So America has leverage there. I have no idea what's made in Canada.
Is this syrup? The 3PL hack? Is that getting taxed here? Where people?
No, that's still your good. Yeah. And then the only other thing that's transpired is it seems like the leadership of both those countries have reached out to Trump addressing some of the immigration issues, not so much the other stuff. And I think it could just have been an aggressive tactic, and they're all going to now sit down and figure out what to do. But we know that drugs, fentanyl, illegal immigration coming from the southern border is real. So, and it's causing a lot of fucking heartache in America. So I think it's a good move. Canada, I think it was just a fuck you. Why not? Like, I don't know what's going. I know a lot of illegal immigration is flowing through Canada now too. I don't know about the drugs. I'm not familiar with the drug game from Canada.
I think drugs come like the harder, like the Molly, a lot of
from China to Canada and
to
down.
the US.
Got it.
Through like Detroit or through up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think my signal on the whole tariff thing was when Ken Griffin came out from Citadel, who's arguably one of the greatest hedge fund managers of all time. And he was anti, and I would suspect that leans right, and I would suspect he voted for Trump. And his point was that he thinks it's inflationary and will cause innovation.
I know, but originally they thought the tariff was going to be 60%. That was inflationary. They have not. Biden did not repeal any Trump tariff.
They also haven't done anything yet, so we'll see. He's scaring everyone right now, and then
they never repealed the Trump tariffs from the first time around. You know that, right? Biden never repealed them.
What, the steel tariffs?
Yeah, they were never. None of that shit has been repealed.
Yeah, we'll see what the effect is, but we're already in an inflationary environment. The print came out.
Yeah,
inflation's up, and it's going to continue to be up. Because
I don't think regardless of this, inflation was coming down. I think inflation is here to stay. It's just a harsh reality of our situation. So we might as well give people more money to buy shit.
You just inflate everything.
Yeah. I mean, that's why assets are inflated. Everything's inflated. So you might as well keep it going. In fact, Wall Street Journal came out with an article talking about customers are quitting luxury brands because price hikes have gone too far. And the examples they used was really interesting. So if you're a follower of these luxury brands, you'll see that some of these things have like rapidly increased in price. So they used the example of a Dior handbag, and a Dior handbag. Let me tell you the exact style. In 2020 was, so the medium lady Dior handbag in 2020 was 3,900 euros. Today, it is 5,900 euros. Wow. 51% increase.
Bag.
What?
Same exact bag.
Same exact bag. And the estimated cost to make that bag in 2020 was 330 euros. Today, it's 388 euros. So shoppers are currently paying 15 times what the bag costs to manufacture. And so I think those prices have finally hit. Because you know what you see? You see like the real picking up again. Because now like the shift has gone from like, I can't afford the new one. I'll buy a used one.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm not giving up on wearing Dior and Chanel and these brands. I just can't pay for the full price one anymore. That's an interesting dilemma that like the cost of goods have, but then like when I think of a luxury brand, I mean the sales are showing the customer has evaporated, but like the ultra rich probably account for more of that spend than your average consumer. My guess is the ultra rich's spend is still the same, and then the average person has just vanished. There's no way the ultra rich should have gotten way richer this year. Stock market was absolutely on fire. So you know that the average ultra rich person's net worth went up 20%. Mm-hmm. They're not going to buy less Chanel when they make 20%.
But that's the shocking part. Luxury is soft.
I think just because of all the middle people that, you know, like when you walk around LA,
up, you mean?
Yeah. You don't walk around LA, everyone's got a designer handbag. So it either tells you that these people, when they have the bucks, they'll just go and buy it, or they're buying fake.
Yeah, possibly. And just to recap, apparently Mexico's threatening to retaliate on tariffs on U.S. goods.
Yeah, who cares?
And Canada is basically like, whatever you want.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think, what are they retaliating on? What do they buy from us? What are they buying? They're buying nothing.
Carvana.
They're buying what? A stock? They're buying nothing. That's the whole point. It's a joke to say retaliation. I'm sure there's trade that happens from America to Mexico, but it's not significant at the end of the day. We have all the leverage.
Of course. And I'm sure it's not going to be the numbers that we just heard, and they'll come to the table and figure out some negotiation.
Yeah.
That's
but I think it's
Trump
a good tactic.
Playbook, right?
Like, why get taken advantage for no reason? Like, all of these organizations have taken advantage of America for so long because obviously someone in America's pockets got lined by doing it. My guys at the Doge are going to clean it up.
God.
Clean the swamp.
Speaking of big changes, this is a big one because, and actually we're going to have someone to come speak about it, but Walmart rolled back their DEI program. I was just in Bentonville for a week. It is one of the most diverse companies I've ever seen in my life. When I tell you, it felt like fucking Bombay in that office. Like literally every third person was Indian. I was like, this company has so many goddamn Indian people, but I don't know if that qualifies as diversity.
You got to get more whites in there. They got too many Indians.
Yeah, they do. That's where they roll it back.
Maybe the DEI was for white people.
Yeah, they need it.
Get some more whites.
From what I saw, Walmart can definitely add more white people. The amount of diversity I saw, the amount of black people we work with, Indian people we work with.
If you're saying it's as diverse as you saw, it's actually kind of a no-brainer. If you're an immigrant, cost of living significantly lower than a major city. You're getting paid
Can I tell you,
real wage.
I went on Postmates when I got there the first night because I got in late. And I wanted to order food. The whole fucking thing is Indian restaurants. Indians will go where the opportunity is.
Yeah, because if you think about even our parents' generation, it was fairly random where they ended up.
Yeah.
They didn't like have this dream of being in LA.
No, it's where the job was.
Yeah.
And what you're seeing with continue that trend to happen, Tata Consultancy Services has a humongous building across the street of Walmart home office.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. I believe you. Obviously, you were there, but I would guess it's a 10th of cost of living of LA. 20%.
Oh, 10th.
10th.
Food and drink is not cheap.
Yeah, but if you were to spend $1 million on a house,
$1 million on a house, you're balling out of your mind.
You have a tennis
Acreage.
court, pool.
Yeah, you're doing all of that. I mean, the problem is the weather.
And in LA, you have a 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah,
If that.
in Culver City.
Maybe 1 bedroom.
Yeah.
2
And you're
bedroom
gonna
in
get
Culver
robbed.
City.
North Hollywood. Yeah.
And you're getting robbed when you get home.
Trade-offs.
But you're next to an Air One.
Exactly.
By the way, Bentonville, I said it before, unbelievable food. Incredible food.
Well,
The Waltons basically have financed incredible
and
restaurants
I'm
in Bentonville.
assuming it's super safe. There's no crime.
What? Yeah, I was walking around there pissed drunk by myself in the middle of the night. Nothing happened. I was scared of the crickets before I was scared of a human being. By the way, the nicest fucking people too. They're so nice. Everyone wants to chat you up and talk. And I mean, honestly, if you want to be in retail and you want your life trajectory to change, you should fucking move to Bentonville.
Or Columbus, right?
Yeah, you. No, Bentonville. The opportunity of Bentonville is so much bigger. Like being in the Walmart ecosystem, like there's so many people that worked at Walmart for 10 years and then started a business across the street that crushed it.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. All right, moving on. One of the dumbest things I've heard all week, California's new proposal for EV credits to exclude Tesla.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think it's dumb.
Dumb.
Why?
Gavin Newsom hates Tesla.
Ah, nice.
And Elon replied with, we're the only manufacturer actually making EVs in California.
Yeah, I mean,
that's-
there's not much more to talk about. It's just dumb.
That's dumb.
I don't understand. It seems like, so I saw John Favreau from Pod Save America tweet about like what you were saying. I guess he maybe on a podcast or something.
Yeah, there's a clip that's going kind of viral.
So he tweeted out, I guess the written version of saying like, we fucked up, we got to change and whatever. And apparently, did they have a guest on from the campaign and they were like totally Kamala's campaign and were complete opposite. Like they thought what they did was right, that it was effective.
They did. They had someone, it was an aide from the campaign trying to defend everything they did, which clearly didn't work. The results are the results.
Yeah.
You have to do self-reflection, which I think the Pod Save guys, as the leading voices of...
But they're not in the party.
They're in the party, but leading... Similar to how Rogan has a big voice, obviously a much bigger voice, they have a big voice too.
Yeah.
And they do shape how the Democratic Party thinks about their agenda, what they should support, what they shouldn't support.
Yeah.
And they've done it. They all have come out and said, we fucked up.
Yeah.
We didn't.
But the people who ran the campaign do not feel that way.
Yeah.
And she's apparently the leading candidate for next election.
No. Yeah, on the odds market, that's not going to happen. She's not getting through a primary.
If she's a leading
gets through a
candidate,
primary, she's a hero.
if she's a leading candidate, I was just thinking in my kid's lifetime, they will never see a Democrat as a president.
Well, I think she's a leading candidate because she is the most known name by the gambling odds. That's what it is.
No, but she is considering a run. She's
also considering a run for governor of California.
Please do another state. Any state but ours.
Or Arkansas, because we're all going there.
Should we all move to Arkansas?
Great state.
Yeah,
that's
great
the title
state,
of episode, Josh. We all need to move to Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas is great. But yeah, I think I can't believe
I'm surprised the Razorbacks aren't better at football. You have all this money.
The high school football stadium I drove by, 10,000 seater. It's fucking nuts. Friday Night Lights on steroids.
They got to use some of that money for NIL. You saw the Michigan story. I know it's not a topic, but it's pretty incredible.
What is it?
So Bryce Underwood, who's the number one quarterback in the country.
High schooler.
Okay. He was supposed to go to LSU. Larry Ellison, second richest guy in the world. His wife, Jolene Ellison, or Jolene, I don't know how to pronounce her name. She was seen at
Is she go to Michigan?
Yeah, she was seen at Indian Wells with Michigan hat.
Yeah.
And so the internet figured this all out.
Yeah.
Apparently, Larry Ellison reached out to Dave Portnoy to convince this kid to come to Michigan, and he wrote a $10.5 million check.
Larry Ellison did
for his wife.
That's awesome. That's so.
And Portnoy tells the whole story. He's like, I'm a Michigan man. You know, he went to Michigan, and he was just like, yeah, I got wind that Larry Ellison wanted to talk to this family. And so he talked to the kid and said, he's going to pay you. This is why you come to Michigan. So Portnoy and Larry Ellison got this kid.
That's so awesome.
I hope Portnoy got a cut of that.
I'm so jealous of that. We don't have that at USC.
We suck.
I know, but like you pay $10 million, you get the best player.
But you need a Portnoy character. We don't have a Portnoy character.
You don't need a Portnoy. You need $10.5 million. It's nothing to do with Dave Portnoy. It's everything to do with fucking $10.5 million.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You give me the $10.5 million, I would have gotten him too.
What was the restaurant that Soho House is now in Malibu? That was his wife too. He named it after her. And then he divorced her and then got rid of the restaurant.
Yeah,
name.
like
So,
Nikita. Yeah. She didn't go to Michigan.
You gotta respect, like, when you're that ultra wealthy that you're like, what is 10 million to him? Nothing.
To get 2 years or 1 year of his team playing a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, like, think about...
It's not even his team. He went to Illinois.
Even his wife's team.
I know, but just think about the joy when they win a national title.
Him, Portnoy, and Ellison, and Underwood raising
the goodwill he got of millions of people for bringing a title home.
Yeah, it's worth 10 mil.
Ugh.
$10.5 million to Larry Ellison's the equivalent of any of us going to lunch.
Yeah. All right. Let's speak of some pop culture. Kendric Lamar dropped a new album last Friday.
Yep. 9 a.m. Surprise album. And then I guess it's blocking the Wicked soundtrack from going one. Wicked apparently is top at the box office. Crushing.
I've seen the press interviews with Ariana Grande and the other co-star. Horrific. Unwatchable. I'll never watch this movie again just because of the press. I don't think you're the
audience.
I'm definitely not the audience because that is some psychotic shit that they're saying in those interviews.
What are they saying?
You have to watch it because, like, I'm gonna butcher.
Where are you see TikTok, Instagram,
on Twitter?
Okay,
just Google Wicked press junket. The way these people talk is why Hollywood is hated.
But the numbers are blockbuster. It's I think of any musical, it's like top 3 or 4. It's gonna make a fortune. It's probably gonna be at the end of the year top 5 movie, even with all the movies that are coming out.
I believe that. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm never going to watch it. And
Moana 2's coming out tonight.
Yeah, Moana 2 will be the other big. I mean, Thanksgiving is like family movie time. Yep. You got to give families a movie to watch.
Yeah, what day is it? 27th. Oh yeah, today's the 27th. Moana 2.
Thank God my kids only like football. So I don't have to go to the movies. They picked all the games they want to watch. They're gonna watch 12 hours of fucking football weekend.
Perfect.
All right, before we move to winners losers content, and Taylor, we need a winner loser content from you.
Let me think.
There's an article talking about that. The headline is "Let's all take a breath and get off the plane like grown-ups."
So you travel the most of anyone on the pod.
Yes.
You're on a plane every week, would you say?
Every single week.
So you're on a plane every week. So tell me your experience, because I don't travel like you.
So,
how are people deplaning and boarding?
It's very tough. So I'll tell you, 90% of the time I'm at the front of the bus.
Okay.
10% of the time I'm at the back of the bus. It is a night and day experience. Front of the bus, you're on right away. You got overhead space.
They're giving you water, sparkling, whatever you want.
Whatever. I'll tell you what the benefit of flying at the front of the bus is. You get on the plane right away and easily.
Or whenever you want to.
Yeah, but even I was late the other day. I was like the last person to get on a flight. I was front of the bus. I had no place to put my bag. And I don't check in bags. I always fly with a hand carry. And I had to put my bag like 10 fucking rows back. And you know how painful that is when you're trying to leave rush out? And my days are planned so tight. So like getting on the plane right away, putting your stuff up and settling in is such an important task. If you are in group 5, 6, 7, 8, or like, you're a leper and you're group 9, which I don't even know exist, it is unbelievably painful. One, you're with a lot of people that do not travel often. So there's an enormous amount of anxiety. Where do I go? What do I do? Is this my group? They have like way too much shit. Like the guy's like, oh, you gotta check this in. He's like, I can't check it in. My medicine's in here. It's fucking chaos.
And then kids crying,
kids,
screaming.
this, that, strollers. It's just chaos. People sweating. And then there's people who just bring all this fucking food. They just bought it and their food that stinks. It's brutal. It's unbelievable that people are not killing each other every day on planes. Killing. From what I see.
The energy, it's
bad. It's very bad, negative energy. And by the way, like I'm going to LA and JFK the most, which if you fly a lot are the two worst airports to get to physically.
Yep.
LA is always slammed. JFK always slammed. So you're already mad. You're fucking angry. You're tired.
And if you have kids, think about that.
Yeah,
your kids screaming in the car.
And by the way, like JFK, you could have clear pre-check. You could be CIA. You're fucking waiting. There's no chance you're not waiting. 100% of the time you are waiting to go through security clearance. LAX, at least they have the new the new TSA, which is with your eyes. Yeah. That line, for whatever reason, is short, and that's only in Delta and maybe American. But like, it's literally dreadful. And then you finally get on the plane. The food, you're tired. So the other day I was the back of the bus, Bentonville, getting off the plane. I was like last 2 rows.
What's going on at Ghost?
It's just, there's only one flight. There's only one flight.
And there's so many billionaires in Bentonville. I guess they're flying private though.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm sitting there. I'm not joking. I timed it. It took me 20 minutes to get off the plane.
Yeah.
20 fucking minutes to get off the plane. And in that, like, you know how like you go one aisle, one aisle, one aisle. Some people have lost patience. Somebody has a connecting flight, so they got to be let go. Then people are mad at them. Those instances, I'm sitting there looking at, and I don't even get up. I keep my head down. When I see the person in front of me, I stand up. And then people are annoyed at me that I wasn't standing
ready to go the very second.
Ready second, right? I like took a second. There's so much anger during this deplaning process. Everyone's tired. Almost every flight is like too
moderately delayed.
A little delayed, right? Like they're using up the whole time that they allotted. You're not getting there early. And I agree. Like everyone says, take a breath, get off the plane. I think we should just expect fighting when you get on a plane. It's such a bad experience.
The plane, it's insane. There's not a better experience.
It's so bad.
There's also been zero innovation in flying.
Why aren't we getting anywhere faster?
Yeah.
We're getting nowhere faster.
Well, also the whole getting in security. You have to get there an hour and a half before your flight,
Which is already
it's just so much time.
so much time. And then and what's interesting is I think checking in bags is actually fine because nowadays
It comes quick.
It comes so quick, but people are so insane. They have their garment bag and then this bag and then a purse. And then when the lady says something, they get all fucking huffy puffy and they're not charging you. Like, for example, if I was traveling with my family, not myself, I would check everything in. I would literally have a little backpack, what the kids need. And I would just
Easy. Yeah.
be relaxed about it.
So
Go in my group fucking 8 and chill.
I travel probably 10% of what you do, maybe 1% to be honest. Are you seeing dogs? Is that still a thing?
Oh, so many dogs. Dogs are out of control.
Well, yeah, because everyone has the whatever service dog now. It's so easy to
Everyone's
get.
dog is service. Everyone's blind and has a service dog.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And supposedly you're not allowed to ask. So I have no friends who get just buy a service dog thing on Amazon and put it on, and you can't ask about their disability.
It's because it's racist or
I don't know,
ableist.
racist.
I know a lot of
Ableist.
dog lovers that don't like dogs on their plane because they know it's bullshit.
To be fair, I've never had an issue with a dog on a plane. I've had only issue with people.
Are dogs flying first?
Yeah, a lot of dogs in first. I've seen
Dogs
full
fly
seats
everywhere.
for dogs.
Yeah, dogs do what they want on the plane.
I will say the one thing about flying front of the bus is the treatment you get from the flight attendant is night and day. You're in the back. They don't even want to take your water order.
No, never. I literally was dying of thirst the other day on a flight and I could not get anyone's attention. And they don't have the ding anymore. It's literally, I go, water, I'm dying here.
Help.
33B. Can you please help me get water? And then if you're sitting first, they're like, hey, would you like the ricotta or would you like the burrata?
Here's an Evian bottle for you.
Oh my God. It's such a classist society.
Oh yeah.
It's insane.
And flying is such a good example of just as someone, if you plan in life to travel, spend the money on the plane flight.
100%.
Yeah.
I've always thought about this when I was able to afford. I don't buy nice things. You call me, I dress like a bum.
Yeah.
But what I will spend, no matter what,
Yeah.
is flying front of the bus.
I'll spend money on a flight, but I will not spend money on a hotel when I travel for work.
Yeah, the flight, I think, front of the bus, if you're laying flat, it's worth it. If
Yeah.
you're
No,
not
but
laying flat, I would argue it's not worth
no,
it.
Still.
but the process, they're so much nicer.
But you just
actually
put
feel
on
like
noise canceling headphones and
getting
like a
on and
human
getting
being.
off. And then the lounge, if you want to go, dude, sometimes I have to take a call and it's quiet. I just
the
go to the
lounge is
lounge, I
nice.
can
Yeah,
take a call.
yeah, that's fair.
And now the lounges like Delta is so fucking nice.
They don't treat you like a human being in coach.
No, you're an animal.
Fair.
You're an animal. You get treated like an animal. What are you, group 6? We're calling group 6 next. You're group 5 right now. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
When you fly first, Mr. Murthy, so great to see you. You get handwritten notes. Oh, you just did diamond medallion again. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I like it. I think I feel like George Clooney up in the air, where I'm just like a robot to flights. But then when I get these flights where I'm stuck going coach, it's devastating.
And also building up to it, knowing that you're going to be treated like that, leading up the hours before the airport, you're like, fuck.
Yeah. Like if you fly first class Delta One or American flagship first in LAX, they have a different entrance.
JetBlue Mint at Newark does too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you go through the Mint
You
entrance.
literally Delta One
Yeah.
in LAX, you walk into the airport. There is 0 people through security. You literally walk right in there and it puts you right in the lounge.
Yeah.
And it's the calmest experience.
And that's a lounge like the 5-star restaurant. Or
Sorry, go ahead.
I think it's I think it might be the Delta Lounge, where you sit down, a waiter takes your order and you get whatever you want.
Is that
maybe
why
American.
Delta's business class, first class is the most expensive on the planet?
Not only is it the most expensive, it never drops in price.
So
And it's always sold out.
LA, New York, JetBlue Mint, which is their business class offering, is about $2,000. What's Delta One?
The cheapest is 2,800. Most of the time it's 3,500.
Oh, that's a big difference.
Learned I think it's Alaska or United. One of them, it's your first class doesn't recline. So the tickets are like $1,200.
Yeah,
I was like,
Alaska is the scam.
Alaska. I'm like, this is so sick. A $1,200 one way New York to LA. I'm like, this is so tight. $1,200 first class versus like $600 normal.
I got duped into that once.
You got to go on seatguru.com.
I learned that the hard way. I got on there. I'm like, where my seat does not go back, sir.
And then an American, if it doesn't say flagship business, flagship first, it's not flat.
But all LA, New York. This sounds so bubbly.
No, not Alaska. Alaska doesn't go flat.
Alaska's not flat. LA, New York.
Delta's all flat.
All flat. American's flat. United's flat. But Alaska's not. And there are some United flights that I've seen that are not flat.
You can get scammed. LA, Miami is the biggest scam.
Yeah.
There's no flat.
No, there's one American. Brian uses it all the time.
Yeah, but that's the only one. There's one.
Yeah, because if you're paying an extra couple $1,000s to not go flat, you might as well go economy.
JetBlue Mint go to Fort Lauderdale is the only one that lies flat, right? And that ticket cost is astronomical.
That's the bubble portion of the episode.
Yeah, definitely. Winners, losers, content. What do you have for winner?
Winner. Talked about this 2 weeks ago. Predicted it. The sovereigns are coming into Bitcoin. Now it's getting public. So crypto in general. So Brazil, there's a lawmaker that's suggesting a bill to buy $18 billion worth of Bitcoin for the Brazilian government. There is a company out of Japan that wants to put, even though it's small, $3.2 million for their cash reserve in Bitcoin. Lawmaker in Pennsylvania wants $700 million for the Pennsylvania cash reserves in Bitcoin.
Right.
And the Orange Man has had a lot of pro crypto appointees, and it seems so obvious. Even though there was a slight correction, it's almost bounced back from where it was. It's a runaway train. Doesn't matter when you get in. Not financial advice. This is here to stay, and we'll appreciate.
Everything's booming.
And Saylor has some odd $100 billion company, and his entire business is owning Bitcoin.
I mean, he's going to end up being like one of the richest men in the world.
And he only owns 32 billion in Bitcoin. But his company's worth over 108 billion.
90 billion, I just looked.
90 billion. But he claims he's doing like Bitcoin staking and yielding, and he says he's making $500 million a day yielding Bitcoin on his Bitcoin yield.
So then the company's cheap.
He said it's the most profitable company in the world.
Then the company's cheap.
Yeah.
Should we be piling in?
I know people who've piled in on
MicroStrategy.
Yeah.
All right. What's your winner of the week, Tully?
Winner's coming to the office here. This is nuts to see that. Well, first of all, there's as many employees here as there was during COVID, which is nobody. I walk in.
It's Thanksgiving Eve. Fuck off, dude.
2 people here. I'm like, I love this, but the view, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's so cool to be here and see this office.
All right, man. Thank you.
Man, just gassing you up.
My winner of the week is Kendric Lamar. Honestly, I haven't listened to the album, but the lawsuit is really funny that Drake filed.
What's he suing him for?
Basically suing his own record label, I believe, is UMG.
Yeah, they share the same label.
And saying that they purposely boosted Kendrick Lamar's music. And so here's my honest belief. They may have done that, but I'm sure they boosted yours at some point too.
Yeah.
And that's just bad press to
it's
do
just
that.
bad press. It's a bitch move that like you do that. Like you I think there's so many other ways to go after him rather than a lawsuit that just in rap lawsuits doesn't really work.
Yeah, because Drake's going to be my loser, so I'll tap into this. Rap is a tough guy sport, right? And Drake kind of threw the first jab at Kendrick.
Yep.
And now that he got buried, he's filing lawsuits. Like, are we like a white collar? Like, your rap's supposed to be the streets and toughness, and the people that are piling on. I don't know if you've seen Joe Budden.
Yeah, but he hates him.
He hates him.
Yeah.
And
he's always hated him.
they're bringing up old clips of Kanye saying Lucien just protected Drake this whole time.
Yeah.
And Lucien's the guy who runs Universal Music Group. And it's just really crazy to see someone who was top of the world and no one standing up for him.
Yeah.
Not one person.
It's not worth it. Like right now, it's not worth standing up for him.
Does he
What's
have to
the
come
point?
back and win?
I don't think so. I think he'll be rich forever and, he'll always be able to get his royalties and tour.
But he has no more number one songs in him?
No, I don't think he's ever going to be as cool as he was.
Yeah, I think he can get a number one song. I think that's doable.
And the people will rally behind him again?
Yeah.
It's an uphill battle.
Maybe not the youth. Like his audience also got older.
True.
His audience are in their 30s now.
Or 40s.
He's got
I think-
bangers. I was playing Drake. He's got so many good songs.
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts.
I mean, I think he's still the number one streamed artist on Spotify still.
He's got depth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just he just won't be as cool as he
Yeah.
was.
I
That's
think
it.
his music will live on. His relevance will die off.
I mean, it's just pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Social media, if you just search it, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Who's your loser?
Anyone that has to eat turkey or ham at Thanksgiving. I think the strategy is...
What are you eating?
Well, I have a strategy, obviously. You have to be conscious of what you put on your plate. It's very obvious if you have excess food on your plate. So put very small portions of things. You could always go back for a second. But the first round, you don't want to grab a lot of food. Because then if it tastes like shit, you're stuck with it on your plate. You have to eat it.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting.
Incredible. My loser of the week are Elon haters. His importance and prominence is only getting bigger by the day. Look at this. What just got reported was that all the people that invested in Twitter when he bought it are getting 25% of XAI, which now raised at $50 billion valuation, and are getting made whole.
Yeah, no, I knew that would happen. They knew what they were doing. They
Of
knew
course,
44
but
billion.
everyone kept dunking on him.
No, I said that.
I'm
was like,
saying you didn't, but I'm saying dumb mainstream media said that, you lost $44 billion.
It's a price to pay to be on the Elon circuit.
Yeah. And it was a good price to pay because everyone's going to make a fortune on it.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the people who did it, they know what they're doing.
Yeah. But the problem is that like the arrogance of mainstream media was that like you're losing all this money. Like you understand for like basically for not that much money, like $40 billion, Elon Musk
won the election,
bought the world.
It's crazy. And bought mainstream media.
Yeah.
He is the mainstream media.
Yeah. All right. Content. What's your content of the week?
Oh, it's a no-brainer. Thursday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Kai Cenat, Kevin Hart, Chusky go on live stream.
Oh God.
Doing what? Just chatting?
Thanksgiving.
Eating.
I mean, Kai Cenat at this point, he's got everyone.
Yeah.
He's
got young men. He's got young men.
No, I'm just saying the celebrities that are coming on. Like I would predict Elon will be on Kai Cenat.
Yeah, I believe that. That makes sense.
He's a YouTuber?
He's a live streamer. It's him, Aiden Ross, Speed.
Yeah.
And they're the three biggest.
Yeah.
But he's so funny.
Yeah. They're all funny. They're all so funny to me. Their clips are hilarious.
It's honestly if you're like a big studio, they have more attention span than any TV show.
But they're getting paid like it. They make more money than any movie
50, 60
star.
million a year. I know.
Wow.
But they have to be thinking, how'd we miss this?
Arrogance. Goes back to arrogance. Some random kids get more views than
I watched a clip of Kai Cenat, SZA, and Lizzo dancing to the Miley Cyrus song.
Flowers?
No, when you show up to LAX, what's it called?
Oh, hopped off the plane at LAX. Bag in a cardigan.
Just dancing around to it.
No, they just
Party in
having
the
a
USA.
good time in a mansion. It's like so fun.
It's funny.
What's your content?
I don't really have... I'm not a content guy.
I don't consume anything.
Not really.
No read books, no TV.
Doing some books, a lot of walks. So that's my content. Go for a nice walk in nature. When you want to watch some content, just go for a big stroll.
Yeah, I agree with that. My only content will be football. It's a great American pastime of watching football this weekend. Enjoy it. There's huge college football games, huge NFL games. It's great. That's all I have. We have a couple comments from the YouTube. First one from Tyler Culbertson. Palmer Lucky's defense company, Anduril, just dropped merch line and sold out every piece within an hour. It's a brilliant move, though a bit bizarre too. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it on the pod. Love it. Anduril is marketing themselves like a brand, and I think they're going to make defense companies cool. Like there's going to be like, we're in this like patriotic era of America again, where people are like, I love USA, and Anduril is like a stamp of made in USA. So why not?
I agree. Yeah.
I think it's going to crush.
Yeah. No, I think defense tech is a no-brainer.
And I think apparel,
given the administration,
and the
obvious.
apparel of it is a good idea. It's going to think about it like this. SpaceX is a brand. It is not a technology company. It is a brand. Kids probably sitting at school dreaming about working at SpaceX one day. And I think,
and the apparel. I see people that work with Mav wears the fleece.
Yeah, everyone. So many people like wearing a SpaceX hat is cool. David Mason. I was shopping for underwear at Kohl's earlier this week. $42 for a 4-pack. I'm looking at no-name brands, nothing special. I had to put them back. Am I delusional, or is that just what things cost now? I'm gonna have to make my remaining 6 pair ride it out.
Wait, hold on. He's only got 6 in rotation. How often is this guy doing laundry?
So I'm a Hanes boxers guy.
I like Hanes.
I do a 3-pack for like $14.99 or maybe $10, and on Amazon. It's a great quality, I got no problems with it.
Yeah, I think he needs to go on Amazon because there's
Kohl's
much
also just reported bad earnings and saying that they got merchandising wrong. So Kohl's just might be fucking blowing
42 for a 4-pack sounds ridiculous.
That sounds like Calvin Klein prices.
Ralph Lauren.
Yeah.
That's like, you're fine. Just go to Amazon.
Yeah. The next one. Shout out from Adam. I've been a listener of the pod since the beginning. Shout drama for short story long. You guys have been part of my routine forever, but I recently just found out I'm going to be having a boy with my girl of now 4 years. So any wisdom you can give for a new father would be greatly appreciated. I love the brotherly debates and the variety of topics. You guys are the #1 podcast for a reason. My only advice is change your schedule around your children. Don't try to live the life you used to live. Go to sleep early, have dinner when they have dinner. Your life becomes a lot easier. That's my advice.
And get some sleep before your baby boy's coming.
Yeah. Never sleep again. All right, Kathy's, have an incredible Thanksgiving. Taylor, thanks for joining us.
Everyone stay safe. Don't be
drinking and driving. And we will see you back here on Sunday night. Bye-bye.
Peace.